Hi guys, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of Whatever Happens Happens. This is Debbie, and there's nothing really going on, so just pop some popcorn and put the kids to bed and be prepared to be bored out of your mind.
Yes. Take that gun out of your mouth just for a few seconds.
Victor's
put it right back in.
Shave your butt and learn to walk backwards, people.
And let the dog do what it wants.
Victor loves Mr. Midnight Movie. He's over here cracking up. What, baby? Yeah.
And
co-starring Victor.
Co-starring Victor.
How many kids did you bring? How many of the Guatemalan kids did you guys bring over to the house?
They were giving them away downtown.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You could have them. You can have them like.
Posse.
You can have them hold signs in front of your bail bondsman store, you know?
Absolutely.
Be in jail, hey!
Sandwich
Bring up some
signs.
business, Victor. Come on.
Get it before the guy the buy gold guy gets him, you know?
I wonder, where are those kids at? Victor said, go get them to work on our lawn.
Yeah.
I went to Lowe's earlier tonight, and I bought all this stuff to redo this bathroom that I don't like, this guest bath. And Victor's like, let me guess who's going to do all of this work. And I'm like, yeah, go do it, please, baby. I mean, I bought everything. I got wainscoting, I got chair rails, I got paint, I got all this stuff to do.
For a guest bathroom, huh?
Yeah.
Because if I came over, I'd want to go in the major bathroom to do my business.
Well, this is a little guest bath. They call it a powder room at the front of the house. What? Yeah, we're on. Oh, this isn't on, though, but I'm going to turn this on, though. Did you already did the LP?
Yeah, I'm going to run you later.
Oh, Victor was turning on the old computer over here to see if I'm working on a new. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Vic. I'm working on a new intro, and people are going to be so mad when they hear who's on it. Y'all want to hear who's on it?
I hope it's Mr. Solution.
Oh, I'm only 1/10 through. 1/10. Listen to who's on it. Watch.
Skype account that she supposedly doesn't use anymore, but she really does, is...
I mean, you don't get to the point or to the level of Debi Daly without having talent.
No, well, I'm kind of hesitant with this one because there's just so much drama around this woman right now, you know. But it's just a coincidence, okay? It's just a coincidence.
Hater.
But I had my own beef with her, and this is why, okay? I know people are wondering, or she's wondering.
You know, this is for Debi Daly. She pissed me off.
You got everybody's damn sympathy.
Hater.
Hater.
That pissed me off. I did not realize it, of course, at the time until I listened back to the shows.
Saying that I'm immediately a hater. It's okay. I mean, like, hater.
Oh,
I
man,
have no tolerance for you at all.
Hater.
I have no sympathy for you.
Hater.
Whatever you get, you get.
Hater, 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 hater.
It's going to be horrible.
That is going to be the most inflammatory intro ever.
Dude, I decided to take everybody that... Oh, hold on, I'm turning my microphone. Sounds like a ship going... Hi, everybody, we're off to Mediterranean.
Turn off your vibrator.
It sounded like a ship's horn. So, what's going on with you mullets out there in California? What are y'all doing?
Well, should I tell her, JP?
Tell her everything. Tell her about the lady you've been chatting to also.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell her... Well, should I tell her about the lady I've been chatting to or the show we just did?
You know what? I think she'll be really interested to know about your new lady friend.
Okay. You know, because... Okay, there's this girl named Clarissa. I forget. I can't even... Questella. And I have... Let's see. She's trying to get me to go on this webcam shit. And I have just said, I have a radio, and I love beaners. Beaner chicks, that is. And she was writing, and then she stopped writing. And I said, keep writing, asswipe. And she said, credit card, debit card, or ATM just to verify your age. And I'm like, tits and pussy to minors, you know, we can't show that. And I said, stop teasing me with your snatch. and she said, "I'm inside waiting for you. Can you see me yet?" And I said, "The only time I give out my credit card is for the real thing. Come on my show, you whore. You might become a famous snatch like I am a prick."
So it was a short-term relationship.
Yes, and she said, "I'll be your whore," and I said, "You bitch, you come and squirt. So I'll make you come and squirt so hard you'll have to drink a gallon of water after I'm done with you." And she said, "Make me your bitch," and then that's how we ended the conversation.
Now, do y'all see why I love Mr. Midnight Movie so much?
Yeah, wait, I think I have earlier. Let's see here. Let me take a look at this shit.
Where did you find this person?
She fed me.
Where? You were trolling one of those.
Don't
No,
give away
no,
your secret.
No. She found me. I did not find her.
You were on hamster.com or whatever it's
No,
called.
no, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the name of it.
And I just told
Okay.
her. I said to her, "Oh, hold on."
Come on, don't leave us in suspense.
Oh, I told her.
You told her my social security number is.
Yeah, I said I killed 3 Mexicans with my bare hands today, and she said I would like to ask you to exchange pictures, but I'd rather see each other. You can see the real thing on cam. You want to? And I said I only want to see your spick face live in person. If you want, if you want, I can kill 4 beaners in your name. And she said her name is Jenny. And I said, are you a beaner, a coon, or a honky?
This is killing me here. Oh my God.
All right.
So it was like Jewish producer said, it was a short, quick relationship then, right? A short-lived, not a long-term relationship, correct?
In and out.
No, in and out. And I want her. Maybe should I add her to the group call and see if she'll come on?
Hit it and quit it. Absolutely. I was just going to take a walk down memory lane with some of y'all's old shows and my old shows.
Oh, Val, the bitch doesn't want to come on. Fuck you, lady. All right, go.
Oh my God, how rude. Tell her that I'm on here.
All right. Shit.
Tell her your sister's on here or some shit like
Come on my show, bitch.
that. You
That's
do
how
have...
they-
That'll work.
You have a
Almost
way
every
with
time.
you have a way with the ladies. There's no doubt about that. How funny. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. So what else has been happening? Anything else going on? Now you went to see the movie America, and you've been bloviating about that, about Dinesh D'Souza, correct?
Yeah. She said she would come on my show, so okay. I'm gonna call her again.
Tell her you're on your show right now.
Fuck you, lady.
Fuck me?
No,
Oh, I
No,
thought you
not
said-
Yeah, that's why me. All right. Okay. So yes, I did my review of America. Jewish producer is finally finished editing. Jewish producer thinks it's a masterpiece, and I don't know if it's a masterpiece or a piece of shit.
And this was uploaded to YouTube, right?
Correctamundo.
Well, I think we should just have a lookie and see what
Or you can go to MrMidnightMovie.com.
MrMidnightMovie.com. Jewish Producers Last Stand. I love these old shows that you guys did. Jewish Producers. Mr. Midnight Movie responds to Debbie Daly.
The one
Okay.
I watched an old one yesterday, and it was the 2012 presidential debate, and it was where Mr. Midnight Movie critiques all the candidates that we're running against,
Mm-hmm.
and you were on the ticket with Bathtub Girl.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God!
Ugh.
Classic,
No.
absolute classic. But anyways, I digress.
Wrong. Okay, I'm looking you up right now, Mr. Midnight. Yeah, there you are, Mr. Midnight Movie. So this is a big deal here. This is I'm getting the exclusive. Is it on Mr. Midnight Movie on YouTube? Correct. Oh, there we go. Mr. Midnight Movie reviews America. Imagine the world without her. All right. Uh-oh. Is this going to be real or what?
I hope so.
Let's take a lookie. There's the golden hamburger.
Yeah, I got to
You went
start
to
off
the
with
movie
hamburger.
theater tonight and you saw America.
Yeah, America, imagine the world without her.
Did you hear that Costco is taking America off their shelves?
Yeah, it's censorship. Censor Nazis.
How could they do that, man?
They're a private company, just like, you know,
Why
like
did?
Blog Talk couldn't handle our shit. You
Well,
know?
I guess the question is why.
You know what? I don't know, but I just know.
Well, you saw the
that,
movie, so
Yeah.
why would they take it down? What was the do you know? Was there
You know
something
what?
directly related to Costco?
I think Costco is an Obama supporter, and this kind of hits hard on Obama.
That's it.
You know? What's that?
There's nothing specifically that attacks Costco.
No.
That's
You know,
that's straight up censorship. Then
Yeah.
that's 1984, man.
You know, and the film was okay. You know what? The most interesting part of the movie was when he gets into Saul Linsky or Paul, was it Saul Linsky? I don't know if you ever heard of him, Paul Linsky or Saul Linsky, and it talks about him and how he organized.
What was he? Was he a gangster?
You know what? He worked for a gangster, and then he started to become into the unions, and he learned how to manipulate the masses.
Saul or Paul? One of the two.
Yeah, I think it was Paul Linsky. Hold on
Yeah,
one
I
second.
think it's Paul Linsky.
And it also talks about like how Hillary Clinton was influenced by Paul Linsky. She was at one time a Goldwater supporter, and then she was at a church, a Methodist church, and she basically, you know, fell for a pastor there that was pretty socialist, and he was all into social justice and shit like that.
What was so controversial about the film?
You know what? It wasn't as controversial as I thought.
Well, what was it about? America. It's a big title. What was it about?
Well, America was about what would the world be without her, and those who think America. He interviewed quite a few people who thought America would be better if it never existed, and he basically let these people kind of talk and explain themselves, and then he went in and I guess would debunk what they said.
And what do you think you could do better?
You know what? I think I could do better with the follow-ups on the interview, because I thought it would be an interview and then a follow-up to what they said and an explanation on how they were right or how they were wrong.
So people came in with their ideology, and he let them talk, and maybe just said, we're going to use that or not use that, we don't know, and then added in sound bites after the fact, instead of actually doing a real hardcore interview.
I remember him in an interview, he said he didn't want to have an I gotcha moment, and he let them explain everything they had to say. They had Saul Linsky, not Saul Linsky. They had Michael Eric Dyson. They had Ward Churchill. They had a couple other lefties and individuals who've written history books from, I guess, the proctologist view of America. They kind of debunked them.
So is this attacking right-wing politics or left-wing politics?
You know what? It seemed to be, kind of, I guess, the same way Michael Moore attacks the right.
Is Jewish producer taking a bong hit on the video or in live person here? Because I definitely heard a bong hit.
I don't know what that
Great.
could have been.
Yeah.
How much longer is the video, by the way?
It's another 2 minutes and 50 seconds. That's a terrible picture of Dinesh D'Souza, by the way. But go ahead. Let's finish listening. It makes him look kind of weird. He kind of looks like Deshaun Porter, but anyway.
Deshaun. Big country.
He is Deshaun Porter. D'Souza attacks the left. I can find them both entertaining to a degree. It's not, you know what, it's not even my favorite, you know, and this film was not by far my favorite documentary, although...
You know, I am moved to say, I think that me, you, Mr. Midnight Movie, and Mr. Solution, and the One Angry Jew should produce a documentary on white guilt in America. Or
It takes a team.
Yes, it does.
I'm dead serious. I think I could even get some investors on that, because I think that if people are paying money to see this, they're damn sure. But we don't want to call it white guilt. We want to call it something like racial. Something like.
Well, I thought of the word inflammatory.
Well, okay, but we need to talk about the seriousness of the racial undertones that go on in this country that everybody seems to ignore because everybody thinks everybody's getting along and everybody accepts gays and, everything's fine when it's not. It's not fine.
Well, but the truth is people don't talk about certain things because they're afraid of who will get inflamed. And back in the day, anybody who spoke out against America, that would inflame the country. There was in the 1950s, there was a blacklist. Anyone who was even thought of being a communist was blacklisted. Today, the blacklist is of conservatives, and particularly if you talk about anything that's racial, you will be pretty much blacklisted. Look what happened to Paula Deen.
Unbelievable. I heard some of the details come out on what she was doing, and the reason she did what she did is she was putting on a themed party, and the theme of it was much like that of a Civil War reenactment, and she simply wanted the black servants at the party to dress like they used to dress back in the 1860s and 1870s and the 1850s. That's all she wanted. She wanted them to wear the white things around their head and the great big white aprons, and that's all it was. I heard a lot of the details about it. I really think
you know what? I'll be honest with you. That would inflame a lot of blacks.
Well, but see, women, but Mr. Midnight Movie, I haven't been talking all day. Women were just as held down as this supposed quote unquote color of skin. I don't really like to say race because it's really not a race of people. The black man got the vote before we did. We were treated like chattel.
Well, like I said, part of what you're saying may be true, but okay, let me ask you this. If I were in Germany, how about if I had a party and I wanted the Jews, and there were some Jews there, and we wanted them to dress up like concentration camp victims, and we wanted to dress up in Nazi soldiers, would that be acceptable?
I have said on my show many times before that these slaves were not treated that bad. Some of them were, oh my God, yes. If you go watch that film, 12 Years a Slave, but that is a certain kind, that was a certain breed of men that could abuse a human like that. I don't know men that would abuse a dog like that.
Did you see the movie, by the way?
No, I just saw the trailer. That was enough. That was enough for me to see. And the thing about it is that, let me just show you how something bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking on YouTube under, what's it called? Okay, hold on. Let me show you what we were, and I'm going to play this for you, but I'm going to turn my headphones down, okay? And I want you to see how much this bothered me so bad that I'm still not over it. I'm still not over it. It upset me so bad. It's a team of people. It's some policemen that bust into this house, and simply because this dog was barking, they shoot it and kill it. But they don't show it. But I was so upset about it. And Victor was like, Debbie, you mean you got that upset over the killing of an animal? And I said, yeah, sometimes I like dogs better than people. But anyway, let me see.
You have an incoming call from MR. Solution.
We're in trouble. I knew it. And hold on, guys. I'm going to answer the phone, and I'll tell him we're going to have to add him. Hello, Mr. Solution.
Well, hello there, Debbie. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. I had to put the boys on hold because they have to add you to our call. For some reason, I can't add people to my call anymore. I was just thinking of you because I was drinking my apple cider vinegar at the moment.
Right. Well, I just finished mine, so...
Oh, it's killing me for some reason tonight. I think it's because I haven't eaten yet. Do you ever do it on an empty stomach?
Well, you know, I was thinking about that, which is the best way to do it. And I think, as a general rule, any supplement should be taken with a meal.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking,
I'm just
too.
about to have a meal, so I'm going to be listening to you guys. I just wanted to call in and say hi. How are you?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hang on just 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Hang on. I'm going to hang up, but don't go anywhere. Okay, let me go back to the guys. Can y'all add... Debbie, you numbnuts, I'm sorry. Join call. Hey, can y'all add Mr. Solution real quick?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
I can't add anybody anymore. I'm going to have to contact Skype. I think we're in trouble. I think he was listening to us. Anyway, yeah.
All right, let me add him. Have you adopted any Guatemalan children, Mr. Solution?
Well, that's a comical question, so ha. The thing of it is, I'm going to be monitoring you all. I'm preparing a meal. I just got in from working out, and I just did my Bragg's apple cider, Debbie, and I'll be right back. But I'm going to be listening, okay?
Did you see any difference over the last 24 hours from your Bragg's apple cider vinegar? Anything?
Well, possibly. I think, if I could say so, urination was a little bit more frequent, but that's okay. That's the only thing I potentially noticed.
Right. Well, it's
because,
a little...
See, this is the problem with me. I'm so healthy, it's hard for me to improve. So, I do use these aids. I know it's good, based on the research and this sort of thing. But all it can do is just continue to enhance an already good condition. But I think it is a good thing. I told you I had a conversation with a guy who was, pretty expert in this field. And he told me, I told him I had the Heinz apple cider vinegar. And he said, no, you need the Bragg's. I said, but I can't find the Bragg's. And he told me to go to Whole Foods, which was, across the street, which I did. But let me say this. To be healthy, it costs a lot. Not only does it cost a lot, you have to be informed because you can't find Bragg's anywhere. It wasn't at Whole Foods. It wasn't at, we have what's called... It's a big supply store for restaurants and this sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, there is Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's didn't have it. They had their own brand. So all I'm saying is that...
Where did you finally find it?
At Whole Foods.
Oh,
Whole
okay.
Foods.
Yeah.
Now, Whole Foods was sued not long ago. They paid a huge lawsuit because they were charging more than they should have been. They were actually sued by some consumer agency. But at any rate, I did find it at Whole Foods. I got a quart for about $5. So the only thing I would observe here is that two things. Well, number one, it's expensive to eat healthily, and you have to be very knowledgeable because look at how much research, say, for example, Debbie, you put into finding healthy products.
Yes.
And so those were just two observations that I noticed. Go ahead.
No, you're right. I think that informing people is great. That's one reason why I love doing this podcast. I love it.
Right. Okay, well, look here. I don't want my dinner to get cold. So
Go
I'm
ahead
going
and
to
go
be
eat your
listening.
dinner.
I'm
Yes.
going to be listening.
And call back in. You'll be a part of the call. All you have to do is just pick up add call, and you'll just be right back in without even calling in.
No, I'm on mute.
And so we were talking about what, Mr. Midnight Movie? We were talking about something in particular that was an important issue.
Well, I don't know if we. Did you? Oh, by the way, I mentioned that my blood sugar was 400 today.
Mr. Midnight Movie, I cannot tell you how quick drinking 2 tablespoons of Bragg's apple cider vinegar will completely cure you of diabetes.
I cut off his left foot tonight.
Oh, it's that bad?
Well, no. Well,
you know what it does? Bragg's, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if I don't, I'll forget. Bragg's apple cider vinegar cures diabetes by getting rid of it. It helps the body to assimilate sugar before it has time to get to you and hurt you. Truth, absolute truth.
I will definitely look into that, and just for fun, I might throw some Bragg's apple cider vinegar in Stabby's face.
Take a listen to Dr. Julian Whitaker talk about vinegar for diabetes, apple cider vinegar. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. And I just pulled this off the...
This is Julian Whitaker, MD, with a Whitaker Wellness Tip. Are you looking to lower your blood sugar? Vinegar just might do the trick. Dr. Carol Johnston from Arizona State University gave people with diabetes or insulin resistance 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before a high-carbohydrate meal and found it worked as well as diabetic drugs at lowering post-meal blood sugar by 25 to 50%. Vinegar may also help with weight loss. In a follow-up study, volunteers taking 2 tablespoons of vinegar before meals twice daily for 4 weeks lost an average of 2 pounds. Dr. Johnston speculates that vinegar interferes with enzymes that break down carbohydrate, allowing them to pass through the body without being absorbed. If you find vinegar hard to swallow, try using it as a salad dressing. It's safe, it's inexpensive, and has other health benefits as well. I'm Julian Whitaker, MD.
We are going to cure you of diabetes with apple. If you don't buy some, I am going to send you in the mail a bottle of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to do it. I'm just telling you because I have listened and listened and listened, and there's thousands of people everywhere on the internet saying, I completely cured my diabetes with Bragg's apples, and it has to be Bragg's because of the way it's made. It's a special type of apple cider vinegar. And wouldn't you love to be cured of that?
Yeah. I could save a lot of money. But I'm going to be honest with you, Debbie. I am a little bit skeptical that something like that would actually cure.
You would want to try it?
Try it.
My God!
Unbelievable. I take a sip. I do the same thing as Debbie. I've been taking a sip of that of apple cider vinegar for months. Probably 4 months, and it works.
Listen to this. New study supports benefits of Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar. New study. Therapeutic effects of daily vinegar ingestion for individuals at risk with type 2 diabetes. And then it says, presented at this week's Experimental Biology Conference in Boston, supports the therapeutic benefits of Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar for individuals with type 2 diabetes, including those diagnosed with pre-diabetes. Click on the PDF of the vinegar study to read the entire thing on it. And I'm going to click on it and get the PDF here. I mean, no, Jewish produced needs to look at this. It's more like a Dr. Tice talks about abstract introduction. Well, it just says vinegar ingestion reduces postprandial glycemia and lowers hemoglobin A1C in individuals with T2D. I mean, it's a 12-week randomized parallel arm trial examined the impact of vinegar ingestion on fasting and postprandial glucose in high-risk individuals. Blah, 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 blah. And it just goes on. And then I guess you go down to the results. It says, Oh, wow. It's conclusion. This data indicates that daily vinegar consumption favorably influences fasting glucose concentrations in adults and contribute important information to the growing evidence base supporting the anti-glycemic effects of apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is inexpensive, readily available, and a flavor enhancer. Although apple cider vinegar was taken as a drink prior to mealtime in the present study, apple cider vinegar can be incorporated into meals as a vinaigrette dressing on salads, blah, 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 blah. And there you go. I mean, that's crazy.
Cool.
You should see
I wonder if JP will give me a Bragg's apple cider enema.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I want to film that. I want to film it.
If we can film it, yeah. There's
so
the link.
JP and I did our latest show is moral versus rational.
The one I listened to, you were horrible. You were,
that
was not.
Ugh. It was hard to listen to.
You've already heard us rambling about that anyways. I don't think it was I think it was just a... You know what? Now that I reheard it, I didn't like it. But I thought it would sound a little better. But
I have something to read to you about what we were talking about earlier, about Costco, whenever y'all want. I found that while we were all talking. So.
What about Costco?
See, we turned you on to a topic you had to go research.
See?
It says, crap, Debbie.
July 7th of 2014, on Monday, the Examiner.com learned that wholesale retail giant Costco began removing Dinesh D'Souza's best-selling book, America, Imagine the World Without Her, from their store shelves nationwide. Jerome R. Corsi of WND said that Costco has sold more than 3,600 copies of the book nationwide, with 700 copies sold last week as D'Souza's film by the same name opened in more than 1,000 movie theaters. Gerald Mullen, an Academy Award-winning producer of Schindler's List, produced the film, and the film was released nationwide. Dinesh D'Souza, the creator of 2016 Obama's America, takes viewers through a discovery of who built America in the times in which they lived, bled, and sacrificed in order to build a great nation such as Christopher Columbus, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Frederick Douglass. The film also profiles present-day critics and to hear their stories and lets the audience decide which America the audience believes in and whether America is at the crossroads of hope or disaster. However, it appears that Costco does not want anything to do with Dinesh D'Souza's best-selling book and issued the pull order requiring all Costco stores nationwide to remove the book. Scott Lose, an inventory control specialist in the book department at Costco, in corporate office in Ossaquah, Washington, which is near Seattle, confirmed. The order went into effect on July the 1st of 2014 and requires that all copies be removed no later than July 15th. Corsi contacted D'Souza for a response, and he said, "If true, this would be very odd. We're in the process of finding out what's happening. I look forward to getting to the bottom of this and continuing the strong relationship my publisher and I have with Costco." As news spread that Costco is removing D'Souza's book, consumers took to Costco's official Facebook page to express their outrage. As one Costco shopper said, "If you don't put D'Souza's book back on your shelves, I may take my money to Sam's Club instead. This explains why I have not seen any conservative audiobooks in Costco since Mark Levin's Liberty and Tyranny several years ago, and even though conservative books have been regularly outselling progressive ones in the past few years. This is incredibly disappointing and short-sighted on your part. Honor your customers or we will vote with our feet." Costco's co-founder and director James D. Sinegal spoke at the Democratic National Convention in 2012, fully supporting President Obama, and generated controversy in 2012 when Costco appeared to be making a large dividend payment by the end of December 2012 to help shareholders beat upcoming Obama tax increases in 2013. Peter J. Riley of Forbes said concerning the large dividend payment, by supporting President Obama, Mr. Senegal was, in effect, supporting higher taxes, and now he supports a tax planning maneuver to avoid some of the tax for himself and his fellow shareholders. This is the last sentence. Costco's management has not yet responded to the hundreds of angered consumers on its Facebook page on the removal of D'Souza's book. And
Yeah, I heard about that.
oh,
Did you hear me?
yes, that scared me. Yes, dear.
Yeah, they have. Costco. I don't know why they did that. It was kind of stupid and short-sighted. Decision to have Dinesh's book for sale, and I think that's appropriate.
It's also transparent, and then they had to kind of sidestep the reason behind why they did it, which was very blatant and obvious. So if you're going to do that, why not just man up and tell the public why you pulled it? That's really confusing to me.
Well, why don't you tell us what was the specific reason that they pulled it?
Nobody knows.
I mean, well, it's clear to me that the movie had an agenda. I haven't seen the movie, but you know, it's basically because of the presentation of the movie, and based on what Mr. Midnight Movie has told me about the movie, it sounds to me like Costco pulled it for whatever reason.
For political reasons.
For political reasons. Okay.
If you follow the blood trail, and you follow the evidence, you'll see that, he spoke at the convention. He was an Obama supporter. So if it looks like a fish and smells like a fish, it's probably a fish.
Okay, I'm not clear on what was the specific reason that Costco pulled.
Because they support Obama, and he is not an Obama supporter. Now here we have Dinesh D'Souza discussing it in this short audio that I now have ready to play. Thank you. Unless we have a commercial first, which I always get caught. Here we go.
When I came to America, I was stunned by the abundance of ordinary life. The rich guys live well everywhere, but I was struck by how good the ordinary fellow has it in America. And then I was also struck by the goodness and idealism of the American people. Even when they fall short, they always want to do better. And then I saw this sort of ferocious leftist critique of America. It's coming from some of our most intelligent people in America on the American campus. And then over the years, I see this critique metastasize out of the campus, into Hollywood, into the media, and then now I think into the corridors of government. So we're seeing, we call it the shaming of America, an attack on America. It's completely wrong-headed.
And that was my next guest, author, filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza. Now he, of course, the man behind the film 2016, Obama's America, which was a huge hit. And you may remember that soon after the release of that documentary, he just so happened to be indicted. Well, tonight, on the heels of the release of his latest project, there are reports that the retail giant Costco may have decided to pull the bestseller America from its bookshelves. Now, our producers reached out to Costco. They gave us a statement. It reads in part, Costco is not influenced by political considerations in selecting product for sale in our warehouses or on Costco.com, and this includes our selection of books. Our book buyers are solely interested in book sales and do not favor any political persuasion over another. Recently, after deciding to sell the book, America, Imagine the World Without Her, beginning on June 1st, the decision was made to pull the book from sale on July 1st. Now, that decision was based solely on the number of copies sold during that month, had nothing to do with the content of the book. Now, after we made the return, a documentary was released about the book, and since then, well, there's been heightened interest by our membership base and brisk sales at locations still in stock. Therefore, we've made the decision to reorder the book. And joining me to talk about what this apparently is happening here, the author of the brand new movie, America, in movie theaters all across the country, Dinesh D'Souza. How are you?
Sean, it's good to be on the show.
I don't often hear of a book being pulled that quick. You're a well-known, best-selling author, and then being put back on the shelves. What do you make of it?
It's very bizarre behavior. The book came out about 3 weeks ago. About a week ago, it surpassed Hillary's book on Amazon. It's actually currently #1 on the Amazon bestseller list. So the sales of the book have been strong. And then, of course, a few days ago, my movie opened in 1,100 theaters around the country. So obviously the book is a companion for the film. Yeah. And so right on the eve of that, Costco decides, some top executives issue the edict, pull every book from the Costco shelves. This is absolutely...
Okay, we get it. Nobody understands why it is. It's a political move. Trust me, that's all it is. It's political.
Lying and, or stupid.
Yeah, they're lying. They're lying their ass off.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said they're lying their asses off because they go, oh, well, we just pulled it because it wasn't selling very good. Oh, please.
Yeah, they're lying or stupid. Now, look, I love truth. That's who I am. I'm a purveyor of truth. And Dinesh D'Souza is a master debater. There's no doubt about that. I listen to him, and actually I learned from Dinesh. And you could certainly kick his ass on certain issues, though, because even he has flaws. Now, I'll be in court tomorrow, which is wonderful, and I feel sorry for the opposition. Something 3M, I just want to reference what he said earlier. He is in a supervisory position, from what I understand, based on what he expressed. And, Debbie, you also corroborated what he expressed. And he was talking about how an employer could be sued. He was also talking about how a parent could be sued by a child, but particularly how an employer could be sued. Now, that was very interesting to me, and I think, Debbie, being the sharp person you are, you'll pick up on what I'm about to say. You will anticipate what I'm about to say, which means that he would be ripe for being sued. And the easiest thing in the world for a person to do, and it doesn't matter the origin of the person or the ethnic origin, all they would have to do is, now I'm telling him what they'll do, is to document what he says and then apply for a position under his supervisory tutelage, and then sue the company, and they would win. That would be a slam dunk. All they have to do is get a guy like this guy to talk. And, of course, if they went and found any of his discussions on YouTube or any place else. Now, I'm not advising anyone to do that because, I don't believe in taking cheap shots. And I wouldn't do it unless he pissed me off. But let me tell you, this guy represents a windfall. Am I clear on this? Is this clear?
Well, I would only do it if you would represent the guy who's suing me in the place I work, just to see your face, just to see.
That's what I'm. But look, if you saw my face, it would absolutely blind you, because you would be fucked up from that point on.
It would blind you. I love that.
Yeah, you would. Wait. Let me explain to him, because I love this guy. Oh, damn, I love this guy. You would lose your position, and your agency, and I don't care. I would ask for you to be removed, but I wouldn't care whether you were removed or not. But you would be removed, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the agency would be hit so hard in the pocket, they would remove you. They would fire you. What do you think of that?
I think my private or my conversations outside of work are my conversations outside of work. It should be, I don't know, to me it should be kind of...
All right. I love this guy. Oh,
yeah,
I love this guy. Do you understand the word nexus?
I've heard of the hair product, but but go ahead. Educate me. Educate me.
Well, I'll speak through you to the audience. Debbie, you understand the term nexus, correct?
Nexus means like hooking things together.
Connection.
Connecting. Okay, yeah,
connection.
right.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, let me tell you, and I don't want to brag on myself, but what I would do is just simply draw a bridge, create a bridge between what went on in the workplace over a period of roughly 2 to 3 months and what he does in his private life. That would be admissible.
So what I do in my private life is going to enter into my public life.
Absolutely. And once this was presented, the agency would never want to take this to court, ever. They would settle, and part of the settlement would be getting rid of your ass. Trust me. But anyway, I'm just saying, and I trust that no one is listening that.
I want to tell y'all a quick story. For the greater part of the 90s, we had a manager that worked for us by the name of Trisha. Trisha was good. She was sassy, and I remember she'd always go, "Phone office," whenever she answered the phone. "Phone office," and she was just real cocky. Well, Trisha quit working for us after about a 7-year tenure, and we got crooked with her. Somebody in her personal life said, "Hey, you've got all these copies of your time cards. They never paid you overtime, and look at how many times you stayed over an hour. You stayed over, this and that and this and that. Sue them for your overtime that they owe you." So I was sitting there. We got served papers. Victor said, "What are we going to do? Call Randy?" I said, "No, I want to handle this myself." And he was like, "Okay." So we went to court. We set it for jury trial. And this, 3-4 months later, we walked to the court, and he goes, "Who's representing you?" I said, "Sir, we're pro se. We represent Superior Bonding, and I will be speaking." And he said, "All right, call your first witness." I said, "Your Honor, I would like to present Exhibit A, proof that that Trisha was," I'm not going to say her last name because BWC will call her. Trisha was our manager, and she was on salary, and she never once complained about this before leaving. This is merely a ploy to get money out of us since she is not working anywhere else. Well, all of a sudden she goes, "Your Honor, I've got copies of all my time cards right here." She walks up and hands them to me, and I said, "I object." And the judge goes, "Darling, state your objection." I said, Oh, I object because that cannot be admitted into evidence without me seeing it first." And he goes, "Right." I said, "I move the court to dismiss this case because it is a frivolous lawsuit." And he goes, whack, case dismissed.
I like Texas already.
Swear to God, I'll put Victor on the phone, and he doesn't even know what I'm saying right now. And I'll say, "Just tell him what happened with Trisha." And I was never more proud. He goes, "Baby, you beat it." And she was suing us for $65,000.
Jesus Christ.
Well, Debbie, not that I would... can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Not that I would want to necessarily confront you in court, but I will say this. You know that the best cases, never go to court. They're settled out of court.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the result of deposition.
Mm-hmm. And discovery.
Right. Well, of course, deposition
is discovery, right.
It's axiomatic that discovery is included in deposition. But so, did she do deposition?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, she didn't.
So my so my point is simply this: I have had defendants actually go back to their clients and say, "We need to settle this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to take this any." And so all I'm saying is that's why deposition is powerful.
It's just a little mock trial almost.
Excuse me?
It's a little mock trial almost.
Oh, absolutely. And absolutely. That's just what it is. And so I think whoever was representing, you say she went pro se?
Yeah, she was pro se too. She was a cocky.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Okay, that's her problem. She didn't understand.
Try it in front of
work.
Pat McDowell. I'll never forget it. Try it in front of, be careful with the devil lettuce. Try it in front of Pat McDowell. I'll never forget it. Because the judge looked at me and was like, are you sure? Because this looks pretty cut and dry to me. I was like, go ahead.
Right, but just getting back, so she didn't have a chance to really to fight her case because she was preempted, which is good. I think that's great when you have the advantage, because court is it's a gentleman's way of fighting. But going back to the point I was making earlier, 3M would be absolutely. It's not him that would be destroyed, although he would be destroyed in the fallout. It would be his company, because you go for the deep pockets, correct?
That is correct.
Well, I'm not asking you, but...
No, okay, well...
I was asking Deb.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Jeez.
Well, I'm glad you knew that, though. But you go for the deep pockets, and so whatever ancillary or fallout there is, such as he would lose his job, he would certainly lose his job as a supervisor. But I'm just saying, he thinks that his personal life... See, your personal life is broadcast. All the things that you said, those things could be subpoenaed. All those records, everything that you've said on Blog Talk Radio is subject to subpoena. And if one brought that into an environment where there was a scintilla of support based on actual experience of the complainant or of the plaintiff, it would absolutely destroy you.
I don't know if I believe all that.
Yeah, because you are entitled to your First Amendment rights.
Well, let me say this. Okay.
Is what I'm saying illegal?
Okay. Let me say
No,
this.
it's not. This is fear. This is bullshit. 100%.
The guy that just spoke up is an idiot. But at any rate, First Amendment rights apply to the government. That limits the government's power. You say anything to your supervisor, like you say, tell your supervisor he or she is an asshole, and it could be true. It could actually be true. And you say, I'm exercising my First Amendment rights. See how far that gets you. Are you there?
I'm there.
I'm looking at the First
listening to
Amendment.
what you're
The
saying.
First Amendment of the United States Constitution says, and I quote, it says, I want to read this straight off the text. Congress shall make no law representing an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Where does that say it's only for for businesses?
Well, who's the subject?
Well, yeah, individuals are allowed.
Hold on, 3M, if you can hear me. I'm asking Debbie a question, if you don't mind. May I?
Who are the what?
No, who's the subject in that sentence?
Establishment of President Congress.
Bingo.
Shall make no law.
Right. It says Congress.
So is it only Congress that is allowed free speech, not the individual?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's a fair question. I'm going to allow that, Mr. Solution. I'm the judge. I'm going to allow that. Go ahead. Answer, please.
What are you eating, by the way? It sounds delicious.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Debbie?
I said I am.
Eating. It sounds delicious.
I said I'm the judge.
Right, I heard
I'm Judge Debbie, and I said to him, "I'm going to allow that, Mr. Solution. Will you please answer the question?" And I'm eating cheese enchiladas.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, because when you sue somebody, okay, wait. Let me put this out there.
Hold on, 3.
Cheese bloviator. Okay, go ahead.
Debbie, thank you. Debbie, since you said it, I'm going to respond to the question. Restate the question, please.
Restate your question, sir.
All right, I'm going to rephrase another question here.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you. So, as an individual who speaks outside of work, you're going to sue me for what I say outside of work. and put that. Well, okay.
Objecting, you're leading the witness. Okay.
Okay. You're gonna Okay. So you're saying that I could be sued?
Thank you.
Because it's not more. Do you think that is moral? Do you think that's a right thing to do, to sue somebody for their activities outside of work that don't involve work?
Debbie, can you tell him what was uttered, at least on my part? I know there's selective hearing going on here. Can you tell him what I stated earlier?
You stated that if, as a supervisor, if an employee came across, who or somebody who went to be hired, and I didn't hire them, and they chose to sue me, they could sue me on the activity that I do after work, the things that I say on radio and
hold on a minute. Let me give you the wording. If they were denied a certain benefit, condition, or privilege of employment, okay, those are the operative terms. If they were denied that, and then they documented how they were treated by you on the job in support of the denial of those privileges, and then they made a nexus between that and the way you speak in your public life, that can be entered into evidence if it's germane to the suit, which it would be, because that would show your animus. It would show your motivation, your MO. And hold on, let me finish. Okay. Your agency would be dead meat. Is that correct, Debbie? Debbie works in law.
Right. No, I believe that is the law. He is quoting the law.
Wait. Mr. Solution, wait, before you continue, can you mention something that I've said that can you mention something that I've said that would cause me to be dead? Can you mention of 3 things that I have said?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, shit. Are you kidding me?
Well, come on.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Okay, No White Guilt, the hate show. Come on.
Okay.
Please.
The show?
You're blind to your own crap. But look here, we can move.
That was all for fun. The hate show. Who doesn't fucking? Come on.
Well, let me say this. You could laugh your ass off when the nexus was made, and the evidence proved weighed in favor of the complainant or of the plaintiff that you did exhibit discriminatory behavior in terms of a privilege, condition, or
how about the
benefit in terms of a privilege, benefit, or condition of employment? So I mean, look, I don't want to go back and forth.
Okay, but I also want to say that being against white guilt is not being in favor of racism.
And then, let me say this, and then they could sue you civilly. Which, if I were in the situation, that's what I would do. I would not only sue your agency, I would sue you personally. As a gentleman.
I have something interesting to read. It says, a rude and mean-spirited boss. Yes, being rude and mean actually is a bad thing for a boss. I know it sure doesn't appear that way to many people who feel like bully bosses get rewarded by company executives for ruining the careers of regular people. But consider this. The bully boss does not come across well in court. An employer can have the best case in the world, but on the witness stand, if a supervisor becomes rude, insensitive, the jury will simply not want to depart from the golden rule. The jury will not do unto you what they would not a jury do unto them. In other words, the jury is not going to want to bring back a verdict where the jerk wins and the kind, everyday employee loses. Juries almost always side with the person with the most sympathetic story, who also comes across as being honest and not fake, and it does not matter at all what the law says, and I say that as a lawyer. Lawyers on both sides both know why juries act this way. That's why defense lawyers put on seminars for managers and tell the audience, sure, it is illegal to be a jerk, but it's not illegal to be a jerk at work, but it's not smart. Your employees cannot sue you for being rude. But if you are rude, it will help them win the discrimination and harassment claims that they will sue you for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I'm not rude at work.
Yes, it does. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm a gentleman and a scholar at work. Not a scholar, but a gentleman.
Let me tell you, this is so much fun. Look, I'm going to have to go on hold because I have to prepare for tomorrow. But I'm going to be listening to you guys, so please proceed as I know you should.
How about you write that check?
It says right here, listen to this. Look at it like this. An angry, vindictive employee will not get the sympathy of a jury, even if that worker was discriminated against. That is why it is so crucial that you come across as the reasonable, level-headed employee who is trying to do the right thing. Even if your boss isn't taking this advice, you should do this. It says, number 8 in the manager mistakes that cause employees to lose lawsuits is careless statements to the EEOC. Managers get interviewed by the EEOC investigators after you file a claim with the EEOC. Managers often will spout off, vent to the investigator, and say all kinds of horrible things. And you can bet that those will be used against you in court. It's a great strategy, a way to see your boss's side of the story and get your boss to respond to you before, but you are making a huge mistake. So I guess what they're trying to say is if you are an employee and you're going to file suit against a rude boss that was bullying you at work or whatever, do not go in with a snappy, crackly attitude. Go in as a meek and mild, defeated person that don't say anything bad. My boss was a jerk. This guy was an asshole. He treated me like this. Blah 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 blah. Then you're surely to lose any kind of lawsuit. And I must have been doing something when we started talking about this. But to sue under the hostile work environment clauses, I got sued, but we got sued for back overtime, and she had $65,000 worth of overtime, but she never mentioned it at the time. And I even told her before we went to court, I said, it's just like the thief that isn't the least bit sorry that he stole until he gets caught, and then he's terribly sorry that he stole. So before that, and I said, when you were working for us, Tricia, you never once said a word about working overtime. But now that you're out in the private sector, not that we were the cop shop or anything, but now that you're out there not working, you've got some aunt or uncle that's going, you need to sue them for all that back overtime that you had. I said, had you come to me and said something and been nice to me about this, perhaps we could have worked something out. But no, you went and sued me, and now you're stuck with nothing. And I said this to her out in the hall. I said, look at you. You lost on a technicality. And he dismissed it with prejudice, which means you can't refile. So have a nice life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shitty thing to do to someone you work for. Particularly if they treat you pleasantly. But even if they don't, man, I've never, because I've had employers say some awful fucking things to me, and I never would think of suing them. It just would never cross my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I told her, and I said not to even mention the fact that you came in late millions of times and you called in sick millions of times and you were paid for that, okay, because you were salary. You got blank on the 1st and blank on the 15th, whether you were there or whether you were not there. And I'm sorry that I don't know why she hit a time clock. And the thing about it is Victor and I discussed one time, we never even knew that she was hitting a time clock. We had a time clock, of course, for our hourly employees, but we didn't know Tricia was keeping up with her time like that.
Do you think she was doing it to fuck you over?
I don't know, because she did have a lot of hours. And I also told her, I said, I have a witness that's in the witness room over there that you don't even know what they're going to say, but they're going to also say that they clocked you out late many, many times, long after you left. You had, quote unquote, forgot to clock out, and you called when you got home and had Letitia clock you out. So don't get all high and mighty on us. And we never heard from her again. So
she's
good
riddance.
Exactly. I had a speeding ticket one time that I thought was the most horrendous, unfair thing that had ever happened. When it was what's it called when you go back to school? The alumni go back. It's homecoming. It was homecoming weekend, and I had all the cheerleaders' megaphones in the back of my car, and Heather with her pom-poms and everything. We were late for school because I had painted them special for the homecoming, and we were on our way to school, and I got pulled over. Well, he wrote me the ticket, and I said, I'm setting this for jury trial. And I set it for a trial by jury and went in, and before we picked a jury, I decided to go with TBC, which is trial before the court, and the judge said to me, okay, are you representing yourself? I said, yes, and they all kind of snickered over there because all these cops were in there just to watch because, as you know, I was hated. They were over there, all these sheriffs were snickering. I said, yes, I'd like to call the complainant in the case. So he comes up on the witness stand, and I said, can you tell us what happened that day? He goes, well, I clocked her at 85, but I rode her for 62. I said, you clocked me? I said, you think I could do 85 miles an hour down Tripp Road, a 2-lane country road with my children, 85 miles an hour? You clocked me at 85, but you wrote me for 62. And I looked at the judge and I said, Judge, I'd like to move for dismissal of this because he lied on the complaint, and therefore it is available to me to file for dismissal of this case. And he said, okay. And he sat there for a second, and he took his gavel, and he said, case dismissed. And he said, here's the paperwork, take it to the clerk. And I walked over by that cop, and I said, what's wrong, Officer Friday? Or no, officer. I said, do you have your one bullet with you or something? I said something really smart. I said, I'd have to ask Heather. Tore up the papers and threw them in the trash, and Heather goes, Mom, I can't believe you just did that. You know, and I was just like, and we just walked straight out of the courthouse. And the judge goes, here, take these to the clerk. And I was like, and I just went rip, 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 and threw them in the trash can and walked out. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The frivolous lawsuits. Like, I was talking today about that mullet Ken Goldberg, and I know you're listening, Ken. Ken Goldberg sued me in the year 2007 for 45 CDs that I have that contain 2 years of the radio show that I did with him called Law and Disorder. Okay? He gave them to me to have him an intro done, which I did. I charged him $540 for the intro, which he never paid me, when I went ahead and gave him the intro anyway. Ken Goldberg had the biggest crush on me that you ever knew in your life. I mean, it was sick. He was so in love.
Sounded like a tribesman.
I mean, he was so, and I'm not bragging, I'm telling you the facts. This guy was so enamored by me that one night when I had had enough, I was tired of his pawing me and being weird with me in the studio. I told Sky, I'm not going in tonight. He was calling my cell phone so much that I took that cell phone and I threw it out of that window of that car. And we turned on the radio, and he was on air screaming, if anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex has seen Debbie Montoya, please call the studio, please. Please call the studio. Debbie, call the studio, please. And he got fired by the program director named Bob McNeil the following morning for taking that phone and slamming it down so hard that he broke the phone. Okay? And he neglected to tell some of this stuff. So he sues me in court. So he tells me to bring back the CDs. I said, you can come get the CDs. I am not coming over to Walnut Hill and 75 to your apartment. I don't trust you. He was a drug addict like you've never seen in your life. He bought more drugs off of a person that I knew. He bought crack cocaine off of Trim, this guy that I knew, okay? And was heavily, you know what his name was on the internet? Captain Save-A-Ho. Captain Save-A-Ho. That was his name. Because he was so involved with strip bars And he wanted me to go to strip bars with him. I mean, this was really a sicko. And I said, I'm not going anywhere near you. You can come over and get them. Well, his attorney filed suit against me, and I picked up the phone and called Mr. Cho, and I said, let me tell you something, sir. If I call the State Bar of Texas and tell them that you are involved in a frivolous lawsuit, you will lose your license. And I said, and I'm 5 seconds from doing that. And I said, I didn't answer it. You can do what you want to do. Take summary judgment. I don't give a crap what you do. But if you don't non-suit this, I promise you I'm going to the State Bar of Texas. The following morning, he goes into court and non-suits it, which means he just called it off. And he goes on, when he was talking to this troll, Nurse Twerpington, he was going, oh, well, I won the lawsuit against her, and she does drugs, and they're horrible people, and all this kind of stuff. And I told him today, I said, I have never before in my life heard lies like that. Why did you lie to that kid? And he goes, because I didn't know who I was talking to. And it's a pretty big deal. I did a show about it earlier, but that's another deal, because what has happened is these mullets have, I mean, when you've got a business like Vic and I, you get sued by people all the time. And these people have gone to DallasCounty.org and dug into these lawsuits, and they're making all these claims about different things. And I said, you know, the thing about it is these people that say, oh, well, Debbie and Vic are broke, they don't pay their bills. Debbie and Vic are not only set for life, but our kids are set for life, okay? And if you knew why, frankly, it's nobody's business. But trust me when I say that. Would I be on the air every night laughing and cutting up and happy if I couldn't pay my bills? Would I be on the air every night doing what I do if I couldn't pay my bills? One person knows the truth, and that's Apocalypse, because I know he's kind of a go-between. And I sat Apocalypse down this afternoon, and I said, here's the facts. And I gave it to him. He was like, fuck. And I said, so there you go. And trust me when I say, it's all a bunch of bullshizzle. And I usually don't address trolls or haters or people like that, but I just thought I thought, because it also has to do with a lawsuit type thing, a court thing. And I know I'm talking too much, but anyway.
Did that DJ, that guy who wanted you, did he have a hook nose?
Yeah, he's Jewish.
Yeah, but not all Jews have the schnoz.
Oh, he's horrible. And another thing. When he moved to Tulsa, he contacted me. Fact. I recorded every conversation that bastard did with me. He called and begged me to do a show with him and told me he would give me top billing. He said, I will give you top billing if you'll do it, if you will do it via satellite with me. I said, no, I'm never doing a show with you again, period. And the reason that Victor was sponsoring our show at one point. The reason Victor pulled the sponsorship after a 13-week contract he went through negotiation to get out of was because this bastard was following me home and trying to get me to like be with him and stuff. And it was really sick and messed up. And that's facts the case. And I've never been the person to lie. And if I had gotten busted with what they said, I just wouldn't bring it up. I would ignore it. But I'm going to start addressing some of this bullshizzle that goes on around here, some of this crap, because I actually listened to something. I know you're going to laugh, but for some reason, Heather started asking me about Marie Osmond the other day. She asked me about Marie Osmond, okay? And she's like, what's it do with Marie Osmond? Who is Marie Osmond? So we started talking about Marie Osmond, and I listened to Marie Osmond say something that hit me square in my eyes. And she sued a magazine for something that they said about her, but it was what she said that really, really, really hit me right in between my eyes. And she said, excuse me, she said that, hold on a second. I think she sued the magazine called something, anyway, I don't remember what it was. She said on an interview, and I think it was, I'm trying to see if I can find it. It was on YouTube that we watched it. What she said was so moving to me that it really pushed me to not only do the show that I did today, but to make that funny intro that I'm making, where I'm going to include all those people, and they are haters. That's what they're called. They're called haters. Haters are people that claim to hate you, but they don't really have a reason to hate you. You know what I mean? I mean, it's really kind of stupid. Now, I can understand people not liking me, but doing it to the level that they do, That's not liking that's not liking somebody. That's obsessive hate, and I know the difference. Trust me. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Go ahead. Start talking.
Well, no, it's kind of interesting. Now, what words did Marie Osmond say that hit you?
Oh, it just hit me. I even showed it to Victor. I said, I cannot believe what she just said. And Victor goes, Debbie, that's really moving, and it sounds just like something you said. And where the hell did I do it? I can't find it. I'm trying to find it. Marie Osmond sues. I forgot the name of the magazine. Magazine for something. I'm trying to see if it'll pick it up. There it is. There, I got it. Okay, listen to what she says. This hit me right between my eyes, what she says. And
Marie Osmond recorded her first #1 record, Paper Roses, back in 1973 when she was only like 12 and a half years old, and she has literally grown up in the public eye, and that's not always a safe and comfortable.
For the baby, for Michael, was complete. That was something. When I read the Globe article, I was absolutely outraged. I'm so angry that they would do something like this. It was not a hard decision for me to decide to do this at all. They pushed me too far.
This isn't the Marie Osmond you're used to seeing. This Marie has a lot on her mind and a lawsuit on her agenda against a national tabloid she says has defamed her.
They have no conscience. They have no morals. They have no values. They have no ethics. And the only way that you can say, stop it, is to hurt them financially. Because that's the only thing that speaks to these people. They take innocent victims, me, my husband, my baby, something so beautiful is what, this beautiful little child, and they turn it into something ugly for their profit. And I think that's wrong.
Marie is no stranger to the media. She's appeared in the pages of nearly every national entertainment publication. She's used to being in the public eye, but she says the Globe went too far.
I'm a very nice person, I think, but I'm tough. And there's certain things that I really believe in, and that's what gets you through life. And they have attacked everything that I hold as decent. I really believe that if you don't stand up for things of this, just lies, that's all they are, lies, that there are people who will, in the back of their mind, say, well, maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe there's some truth.
Bingo. That's where it hit me right between the eyes. If I don't start standing up to some of this crap that goes on around here with some of you mullets, and I'm not talking, you know who I'm talking to, you know who you are, and I'm not talking about trolls. I ignore what trolls do, because trolls do it just for the lulz. I'm talking about you people that are hosts around here, and some of this bullshizzle crap that you're talking about. I'm going to knock you down, every one of you, and I'm going to come out with the truth. Now, the reason people pick up on this, oh, wow, did you hear this? Must be true. Okay, the reason they do is because I never argue back, and I never take people into my personal life. Now, I mentioned my daughter's name, my son's name. Howard Stern did that, okay? Johnny Carson did that. You know where my son Chelton. You don't know any details about my life. You don't know me. Okay, you think you do, but you don't. Okay, you think I'm this broken woman that is, was evicted from her home and all this bullshit. You know nothing about my life. Okay, and that's all I'm going to say. And if I'm going to start calling every one of you out, not the trolls, because trolls do it for lulz. You people are doing it out of goddamn hate. Pure, unadulterated, jealous hate. And that's all it is. Because I do nothing to you people. Nothing. And I'm talking about Desert Rose. I'm talking about Todd Morris. I'm talking about Goofy Bone. And I'm talking about the news guy. And I've already dealt with Paul Pills-Dembski. I've already dealt with his dumbass. And I ignore Guy Shea because Guy Shea to me is nothing but a troll, and who listens or believes anything he says anyway. But I'm dealing with all you, okay? And I know that the listeners are going, what is she talking about? Well, I'm talking about something going on here on this little network that I'm going to be dealing with, and I'm going to open a new show. The new show is going to be called, and it's going to come on earlier, like I did this afternoon, and it's going to be entitled For Spreaker Hosts Only. And that's where I'm going to hit you straight between your eyes with any bullshit that you come out and say about how old I am, my financial situation, anything, okay? Screw you, and you better eat your Wheaties, because I'm going to be addressing every little crap that I hear. I don't listen to your stupid shows. I don't listen to them because it'll just piss me off, and besides, it's the same old thing every time. It's the same ridiculous stuff. We bring content. We have fun on this show. We laugh at Mr. Midnight Movie and make fun of him. No, I'm joking. I mean, we have a lot of fun on this show, and y'all can't stand it. You have nobody on your shows. All your shows are is me. That's all they are. So, whatever comes at me, and there's people, Andy Bong tells me things. A lot of people tell me things that go on, okay? And there you go. All I have to say, and I'm going to say one more thing that I'm not going to talk about anymore. When it comes to BTG, one video proved that all that hassle that she gave me was bullshit. Okay, she discredited herself, and I told y'all that it was all out of jealousy and stupidity that she did all of that. And all I have to say is checkmate. And I love Mr. Midnight Movie and Jewish Producer.
That was quite a mouthful, Debbie.
That was epic.
Epic, Debbie. So, yes.
Fuck them, right? Let them eat fish.
To a degree. I always try to do what's rational instead of sometimes I like to do what's moral, but if it's between rational and moral, I'll do the rational thing.
Well, I think I'm being completely rational. So would you not agree that I'm being completely rational here? Was Maria Osmond being rational? Of course she was.
Well, to me, you're being more moral, like, because it's morally wrong what they're doing. But is sometimes, like, if there's a bully, and the bully can kick your ass.
I don't see them as bullies. I don't have. The only bully I have in my life is Satan. Nobody else bullies me and bothers me. What are they going to do? Come kill me? You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. But I'm listening. I'm going to go on. I'm going to go on mute.
Okay. Is it I mean, it's moral to fight the bully. But if all that does is get your ass kicked, is that rational?
Who's going to kick my ass?
No, I'm just pointing something out. I mean, sometimes when you fight back,
there are a lot of people, hosts. I said trolls. I exclude from everything I'm even talking about right now. I'm excluding them because they do it for lulz. They'll go on and say Debbie's a prostitute, Debbie's really a black person. I mean, all this crazy stuff. What they say is like crazy stuff. I'm talking about people that are my constituents on this network here, okay? People that continually lie about me. And I will be coming out over the next few weeks, like I said, and I will be proving them wrong. And who better to address their crap than me? Right?
How much? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you know what? You may be absolutely right. But
y'all, they tell people that if you talk to Debbie, they told Brown Beasley, if you talk to Debbie, don't come around us anymore. Have you ever once heard me say in retribution, or even just if you talk to Desert Rose or Goofy Bone or any of those, don't come back to me? Have you ever heard me say that?
No.
And I never would. Why would I say something? Isn't that stupid? I mean, isn't that ridiculous? But here's what they do. They say that that's what I say. That's the idiocy of the whole damn thing, is those people say, well, she draws lines. No, I don't. No, I don't. You draw lines, because people just don't bring it up and talk about it. But it's going to be somewhat spotlighted on here, not maybe right now, but I'm just saying I've had too many talks with people, and I won't address trolls again for the fourth time. I won't address trolls because they're not, to me, they're just not an issue. They're just trolls. You know, they're just there to piss you off. That's all they do. They'll say anything. And but I will address people that, quote unquote, hold themselves on my level here. People that say I fudge my numbers. People that say I bought my chat rooms. People that say I bought my... I don't even know what bot means. I don't know what you're talking about. All that tells me is perhaps you're doing that, because I have no idea what it is. I mean, I sit here at night, talk to the guys, hang up, and that's it. I don't know what you're talking about with fudging my numbers or whatever that means. I obviously just have a lot of listeners out there, including you all. Every one of you. You're listening right now.
Yeah. Well, and do you think you'll I mean, what do you hope to like what will be accomplished?
In my mind, I'll clear my name. That's what I don't want to accomplish anything. They're still going to come at me, and that's fine. But I want people to know that instead of just ignoring it, I will be addressing some of it, which at my discretion, I will address it. Because you've got to admit, I mean, come on, Mr. Midnight Movie. You've got to admit, I'm the talk of the town. You can't go to a show that they're not. They hashtag me, every one of them. Like that Alan Wayne guy, he hashtags me. Well, he got caught the other day on his show saying, we may all hate Debi, but you've got to admit that you don't get where Debi's at with her listens and her followers without having talent. And as much as I hate to say it, he says, and I downloaded the show where he said it, and he goes into great detail. And he basically was saying what every one of them want to say. And I actually wrote something this afternoon that Victor goes, write it down, baby, write it down, because you'll just forget about it, and the next day it'll be like dust in the wind. You won't remember it. And I wrote some of it down. I wrote down addressing Todd Morris. I said, Todd Morris, when I first heard about you, you were a regular caller into the Vince and the Bay show. He laughed at you, chided you, and for that reason alone, I began to feel sorry for you. I thought you were funny, and I also thought that you were being handed a raw deal. You called into my show one night, and I welcomed you with open arms. Never once was our relationship based on anything sexual. However, today, you pride yourself on saying that I want your quote-unquote dick. For God's sake, I knew your son Joshua. I spoke to him many times on the phone. You even called me your quote-unquote internet wife. We had a great time. I purchased my own Skype conference room, of which you asked me for the password and if you could use it when I was not there. I allowed you to do that. You went behind my back and deleted my recordings on that. To this day, I have no idea why you did that. I spoke to the people at Skype via email, and they confirmed that it was done by you. When the stupid BTR presidential crap elections came up and you began to call over into Desert's show, you turned hateful and bitterly mean towards me, of which you are still today. Desert seemed to love that you hate me and the hate that you had for me. And now anytime I happen to speak your name, you both squeal that I want to have some sort of perverted sex with you. I also have 3 audio files to prove without a trace of doubt that you are, in fact, 54 years of age. The proof that I hold is sufficient enough for a federal case. I ignore you these days, Todd, simply because I believe that you are not yourself anymore. When you tangled up with BTG and Iconoclast over on TalkShoe, you made a complete fool of yourself. And also, Rich Giordano has contacted me not long after he slandered my name on your show and made extreme apologies not only to me, but asked to speak to Victor. He said he was merely playing along with you because he heard that you were a nutcase. I pity you, Todd Morris. There you go. So that's just one of them. And there's 7 people that I wrote on today. So there you go. I will now take a puff of my vapor cigarette. But I'm serious. I don't give a crap.
Nice.
Yes, yes. Well, I always, and if that works for you, absolutely, if that works for you. For me, I mean, because I'm assuming that we've all had employers where we'd wanted to say things to, and it's a moral thing to say, but it's not a practical or a rational thing to do. I remember.
But I'm not really talking, Angel, about employers. I'm really not. That's a whole different jungle cat to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
But I
'cause sometimes when you fight, you make the situation worse and you spur it on.
Oh, I'm not
more
going.
of it
No. You're getting the wrong idea here, Mr. Midnight Movie. I'm not going to be fighting anybody. There's not going to be any going back and forth in chat rooms and over at people's shows and saying, "I told you I did it." There's not going to be any of that. The only thing is when I hear something, when I get wind of something, be it I happen to pop into a show on a day that I'm vacuuming and I've got my earphones in and I go to listen to through that or whatever, it will be addressed on my show, on my new little show that I'm going to put up that's going to be called for Spreaker host only. Period. That's all I'm saying. There will be no fighting, no calling into shows, no screaming and cussing. I'm done with that. I am a child of peace. And I'm just saying that it will be calmly, rationally, and maturely addressed. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Sounds like a plan. Absolutely. I mean, I mean, you know, and even if for your own peace of mind. That,
exactly. That's the only reason. I
would
wouldn't be doing it for them, because when she said, when people lie about you, there is a small amount of people out there that may say, I wonder if that's the truth. And I will not stand for having my name anymore, because you don't do it to anybody else. It's only me. My name drug through the mud around here with you people, and it just being ignored. And people saying, well, she didn't say anything. I guess it was true, you know? No, it will be addressed. If it comes to me, if it comes across my desk one way or the other, it will be addressed. Period. Exclamation point. Question mark.
There we go. Well, yeah.
Over.
And, I guess I would do it too if I were in your shoes. If somebody said something about me.
Well, you do, Mr. Solution. You go back and forth to Mr. Solution. He infuriates you. Now, think about what it'd be like if you had 20 Mr. Solutions out there, 20 of them, that were saying the same things to you. In all respect to Mr. Solution, but I'm saying, what if it was everybody out there on a nightly basis attacking and hashtagging you? You know, get rid of Debi, no more Debi, Debi Daily. You know, if you go up in the hashtags and you just put in DEB, you should see what some of the hashtags are. That's, you know, Debi Daily must be silenced, Debi this, Debi that. The only reason they want me off of here is because I take up too much damn room. That's all it is. Period. I ain't even smart enough to figure that out, okay? And I'm not saying I'm better than you people. Maybe you people just don't have the wherewithal to do what I do, which is turn on the mic, okay, and talk to people and open yourself up and be honest and good-natured and fun and play good music and have a good time and laugh. And maybe if you wouldn't be so caught up with me and concentrate on your shows more, you would have a good show. There you go. So that's all.
Yeah, sometimes when you're up against it, and being, and I guess you could call it being hateful or being bullied. The person who inspired me on how to deal with bullies was
baby, I love you. I don't look at them as bullies.
You don't? Okay.
No, I look at them as pathetic people that are riding my coattails. That's all. I don't look at them. They don't bully me. Are you kidding me? I see myself on a different level than that. And the reason why, am I better than you? You're damn right I'm better than you. The reason why I can say that is I would not do to somebody what you people do to me. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't make a mockery out of somebody every night on my show at the mere expense of saying their name and knowing that people are going to come to me because I'm saying your name. That's the only reason. Stop talking about me and watch your numbers dwindle to 15 a show, if not 12 or 13 a show. Watch it. Start talking about and hashtagging my name and watch them skyrocket. Okay? So you were saying that you're whatever.
Well, or even hateful people, or haters or whatever. For me, I was inspired by Sidney Poitier in the movie In the Heat of the Night, and he never got angry, and he never showed fear, and he never showed anger. It was.
Do I seem angry to you right now? Or do I seem convicted?
Passionate. I don't know if anger.
No, I'm not angry. If you want to see anger, I'll show you anger. Okay.
No. Actually, you sound more passionate.
I'm convicted. I am convicted. I'm fed up, and I'm convicted in what I'm doing. That's what you hear. Is you hear somebody that's very convicted. Okay.
Is passion the same thing as convicted? I mean, you're
I believe we're all passionate about who? Us. And my name is being slandered around this place. Just go by the news guy's show sometime. Go listen to Paul Dembski, who actually said on his show that the reason he doesn't like me is because I tried to have cyber sex with him one night on Skype. Me. And said that I was sitting there. I'm going to say this, okay, so y'all turn it down if you don't want to hear it. This man actually said this, that he sat there and watched me fingering my twat on Skype. Can you imagine that man saying that? And he said it. And he's got, I don't even know how many listens to that show so far. So there's people out there that are listening that don't even know me. They're going, oh my God. You know, if I were to do something big someday, which I probably won't, but if I was, they would say, isn't that Debbie Daly that was the webcam whore? And this bastard said he didn't have any remorse at all. He just sat right there and just lied through his teeth. And
Jesus.
Yeah, you haven't heard that? You haven't heard about that show?
I have not. No, I have not heard about.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's called his Goodbye Show, and it's called One More Thing. And it goes off and tells the most outlandish stuff. I mean, Victor and I were jaw-dropped. We were sitting there going, oh, my God. I listened to it with Vic because that way if I start to get upset, Victor can calm me down and say, don't get upset, Debbie. And I don't listen to stuff. I mean, I do not listen to shows because I'm very sensitive and I can get really upset and like my heart will start beating irregular or whatever, my blood pressure, and I don't want to do that. So I won't unless Victor's with me and he'll sit with me and listen to. And when I found out about that, because Pimp Hat had told me to listen to his shows on Mixler, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I can tell you the whole story, but just trust me. I heard wind of it. I didn't go seeking it. So I went to listen to it because I couldn't believe what they said. I thought, there's no way. And I'll be damned if he did. He went on there and said the most horrendous things you'd ever heard in your life about me. Unbelievable. Called me every name in the book. Every name in the book. Said that I wasn't worthy of the name bitch. No, this was a news guy. I wasn't worthy of the name bitch because bitch exuded a strong woman. I was a cunt because I am a deviant and all this weird stuff. And the other day I was in a chat room of Alan Wayne. Todd Morris came in there and said, pedo alert, pedo alert. There's a pedo in the room. Hide your kids and all this bullshit. Victor just walked in the room. I bet he was listening. Are you listening in the other room? Sir?
Yes.
No, I was outside.
Oh, he wasn't listening, so let's change this up.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, you know what?
But seriously.
I mean, that's
sick shit. And that's one reason why I always have loved you guys, Mr. Solution. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's Jake, there's so many good guys out there that call in and have a blast with me that I really have a lot of fun respect for. I mean, Jewish Producer knows that if his wife accidentally got her brakes greased, and or like Victor too, no, I'm joking. But it's like,
that's right.
Yes.
And
I'm with it.
It's a clean, loving friendship that's been going on now for three plus years.
We've been trying to explain this to people, Debbie, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
People. It works with you.
And it's really entertaining, but you don't like it when me and Mr. Solution go at it. And I call him a cunt face, which I haven't recently. But, and I get really angry. And I think it might even help with my diabetes because today, like I said, I got 400. And when I'm arguing with him, it probably, it makes me sweat. Like it's a real workout. and probably Mr. Solution is also ready to pass out too. It's almost like being in a spinning class. When
he's going to come back on the line. He's listening.
No, he's not. He's not going to come back on the line.
But I'm just, yeah, you're right. And I hate conflict. I despise conflict. People say, like Desert Rose will say, well, she has no life. She lives on the computer. She's a drama queen. No, that would be her. She has no life. She lives on the computer, and she is a drama queen. And I can prove it. I have got rock solid 100% undeniable proof of this. Wouldn't you love to know what it is?
Tune in next week.
I mean, it would absolutely shut her down if she knew the proof. I mean, because I'm just like going, it just solidifies everything I've said. You know what I mean? And doesn't she she shuns both of you because you talk to me, doesn't she?
That's correct.
Oh, that's so sick. Can you believe that? And then sits and tells me that I'm the drama queen.